We wanted to talk to you today a little bit about health, especially healthy eating. It's definitely been a journey for both Penelope and I. I did my best to educate her about what choices mean and what the human body needs. And we talked earlier in episodes about how she thought that was really caused eating conditions because she just it was kind of too big of a focus. So it's really hard as a mom to know how to get it right. I think all of our daughters are dealing with body images issues, which I know that we did as well, if you're a woman, also if you're a man. And I just wanted to see if you would share some of the ways in which you decided to come full circle back around to healthy eating.
Yeah, so just a little backstory if you don't know the story already. I used to have a binge eating disorder, which if you don't know what that means, it means that you basically kind of maybe you don't eat a lot of food during the day and then you eat a bunch of food in one sitting and then maybe you vomit or don't after, and then or you just eat a bunch of food all day every day, and sometimes it goes in waves and sometimes you don't eat at all and then you stuff your face and then you vomit or what it comes in different ways, and I feel like I also had the other side of it where I just wouldn't eat at all for days and weeks. So both were at play, but I grew up with a extreme disordered eating, and it was a problem for me and my physical body and my confidence, and it really shook how I looked at myself in the mirror and the clothes that I wore and the way I thought about myself my whole life. So when I got into middle school, people were really mean in school and they really bullied me, and that made it even worse. And so the problem just got worse and worse. The older I got, the more people would bully me, the more food I'd eat, the more problems it would cause, and then the less I went to school, et cetera, et cetera. So the reason I'm sharing this story today is because I'm now not there anymore. I used to weigh 300 pounds, and if we insert a picture somewhere, I'll show a picture.
Picture, enter here.
Picture, enter here. And now I'm at my healthy weight. I have figured it out after, years and years of yo-yo dieting and over-exercising, under-exercising, overeating, under-eating. I've done basically every diet that's on the planet.
You can't outrun your fork, come to find out.
No, you can't outrun your fork.
We've tried.
And by the way, guys, we love food so much.
We're total foodies.
Total foodies.
It's so much fun. We gotta cook together.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, we'll do the cookie dough balls.
Yeah, oh.
We'll film us doing the cookie dough balls. These things are unbelievable.
They're so good for you.
And they're no sugar.
No sugar.
Oh, and no flour.
No flour. Gluten-free. Oh, so good. Anyways, the reason that I wanted to share this story with you is because I've came a long way, and I get it, and I understand it, wholeheartedly understand it. And I'm now at a point where I'm in the gym every day, 5 days a week, and I'm able to intuitively eat. And a lot of you know what that means, but the meaning can be different for each individual. And for me, I don't eat sugar, I don't eat bread, I don't eat dairy, and I don't eat a lot of meat. Those are just my beliefs for my body, and also what makes me feel best. That's how I feel my best. So with those things, keeping those things in mind, what I try to do is I try to just eat until I'm 75% full. That's been my thing. And so if I'm too full, I know I'm uncomfortable and that's not healthy. And if I'm just 75%, that means that my body is physically full, even though my mind might not be. And I want to share a tip with them. Sometimes if we think we're hungry, we're either thirsty, which you taught me, we're either thirsty, or we might be craving a hug, or we might be craving a conversation, or maybe we want to dance or listen to music.
So hold on, pause. That's a brilliant tip.
Thank you.
What are you really hungry for?
Yeah.
So that's some real wisdom right there.
And I ask myself every day, am I really hungry right now?
And sometimes we're not really hungry, but we just want to eat. And then we do.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we're we're not really hungry, so we're actually going to leave the kitchen and go dance or
sometimes we're really hungry, but we can't eat because we're doing something.
Yeah.
Vice versa. It goes both ways.
But this study is super important for us all to tune into, because most of the time we're just busy and doing stuff because we think we should. But being intuitarian, the goal and the guide is really this inner voice. And the inner voice, by the way, is really convoluted if you're eating a lot of chemicals, pesticides, if you're doing drugs, if you're eating genetically modified foods or highly palatable foods like foods high in sugar, fat, and carbohydrates. Sorry, little side note.
I love it. I love it. Just my little fact book. Bloop. Okay. Bloop. Okay. I love it. Thank you for being you. We have to celebrate our moms, and moms, we have to celebrate our daughters. We work really hard to be our besties.
You are. You're the best. All right, so keep going. I'm sorry.
I don't remember where I was.
Well, you were talking about how you feel like you've hacked the system. You tried to like negotiate. That's my word, but like, you know, and so you found your way back by being an intuitarian.
Right.
Intuitively eating.
And through moving my body daily, and meditating, because basically...
I want to do a whole episode on meditation.
Okay, so moving my body daily and meditating.
And exercising too.
And breathing and exercising has really helped me be more intuitive, because it's like, if I'm really hungry, I know it's because I did a big workout. So like there are certain little cues that really help, I feel like, help my body know, oh, it's time to do this now, or it's time to eat this now. But something I really want to preface is like, moving your body once a day is super important. It's not like to look good or to not look good. It's really just about moving your body because it's good for your body, because it's like a mind thing. It helps the mind become more productive. And it's just something I've just created as a habit now. So it's not something I'm like, oh, I have to work out today. It's just, I wake up and I work out. Like, that's just the habit now. But it took me 2 or 3, or you could say my whole life to get to that point. Because I used to hate exercise. And it took me 2 years to even start liking exercise. So it's not like I just woke up one day and I was like, oh, I love exercising and being an intuitarian. Like, it wasn't that easy. It was a long journey. But it was the journey that actually got me to where I am today.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to talk more about exercise and the importance of exercise on maybe the next episode. But I wanted to know, like, why the healthy foods? Like, because you were really resistant for a long time. You were like, okay, I only want to eat eggs or egg whites or beef or, you know, whatever, carne asada. Like, you got into these, like, you know, modes, and you were very clear that's what you were going to eat. But now you're really open to eating, like, vegetables and fruits and and more kind of the way I eat, which isn't good or bad, right? I'm just saying that, like, you've really come far. Like, what led that you decided that vegetables and fruits were going to be your main focus?
Yeah, well, this is really important too, because I feel like when our moms or dads or any family members like, you should do this, your whole life you're like, nah, I don't want to do that. And you just rebel, because I feel like that's almost just human nature. And I did that for a long time, and I had to learn on my own. So I had to eat and explore every single junk food I wasn't allowed to have when I was 6, so that I could get to, from that point to, okay, I want to know why this makes me feel so bad, do the research, learn, okay, and now I want to try eating these foods and see how that makes me feel. So I was basically like my own lab rat, you could say. And I will say social media plays a huge role in the diets that I was trying out, in the foods that I want to try. Like, I wanted beef because it's all I saw on my For You page, people making beef. So I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I know a lot of my friends even used to say, oh yeah, I'm like on this new diet, or I'm eating these new foods because, you know, I saw it on the For You page, I saw it on TikTok. It's like, okay, great, but like that's actually not good for you. So there are lots of like fad diets, like the carnivore diet and whatever, keto and like all those things. And that's great for you if that's what you're doing, fine. But that's kind of where those like false ideologies came from, and just like the rebellion and like wanting to try new things.
Maybe just like things on the path that led you to where you are.
Exactly.
You got to see how you felt. You're like, oh, well, I'm losing a lot of weight on the keto diet, but I actually really don't like the way I feel after I eat like a ton of pork and beef
I felt like a slug.
Chicken. Yeah, like that. You like my skin, the odor of my body. So like it's almost like you had to experience that to know, okay, well, I need to modify this because this doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Like as an intuitarian, you have to try things in order to know what feels right. And it's different. Like today in my, almost 50, it's different than when I was 20, right? So
exactly. That's really true too, because like 2 years ago, I wanted different things than I want now. Mm-hmm. And I also had to explore like what foods make me like fuel me, what foods make me more focused. What, like tea, for example, is like one of my favorite things right now. Like I'm super into it. And I love tea, and I'm like turning into her. It's crazy. It's so funny how we like say our moms are so.
Penelope, you're a tea leaver. Like she would, like I'd make her a tea and she would leave it, and I'd like find it the next day, and I'm like, okay, well I guess I'll drink this cold tea. But like that was your famous thing. Like she's
and now
the tea
she's
leaver.
Refilling my teacup.
She's like, but Mom, can you bring me some more hot water? I'm like, who is this person?
And like my mom always, whenever she goes somewhere, like on the plane or she's like going to someone's house, she has like 6 bags of food. And I was going to someone's house the other day, and I had like 6 bags, and it was like all this food. I was like bringing my own food to somebody else's house, and it's like,
well, you were bringing food for them.
Yeah,
that's a nice thing to do.
No, it is, but it's just so funny because it's like I used to condemn her for drinking so much tea and like eating healthy food and bringing her own food,
And
here I am.
I don't know what to say to that.
Like, the transformation is real. Like, I used to hate it. Be like, why do you have all these bags? I don't want to carry all these. Now I'm carrying all of them. So, man, I respect it and I understand it because the foods that are other places can cause really bad things like cancer and Lyme's disease.
Or just being grumpy.
Just being grumpy. Oh my
gosh.
I
mean, like when you don't eat or you don't eat food that's good for you, you just feel kind of hangry and grumpy and you don't sleep well and you wake up feeling groggy and inflamed. Like, it's more about like just protecting your energy.
Right.
It is. But so like I'm still not sure I'm clear on the answer for the whole vegetable thing. Like how did you decide to eat more vegetables?
Okay, so first actually this is how it started actually. So I was watching something once and it was like this girl had a big thing of chips and then she replaced it with carrots. And she was like, I felt so much better and I was getting full faster and I was like, huh, that's a good point. Like that she has a good point. And I also learned that like I was just saying, all those foods with all the oils and things didn't make me feel good. And they also caused like skin problems and they also caused bloating and inflammation. And so they just didn't make me feel good. I woke up and I felt really sluggish. So I kind of, like I was saying earlier, I'm a lab rat. So like I just tested it on myself and I just said, why don't I just have like a big salad for lunch and see how that feels? And it took me a while to retrain my taste buds because I was so used to like cheeseburgers and pizza and like all these other things. So it took me a while to really understand, okay, this is a salad and we like this salad and it's good for us and it makes us feel good. And it makes us feel full, which is also something that's really important because it's like I'm all about quantity. Like I love me a good like meal. But I also know that it's going to take, some fancy stuff to make it taste good and make it filling for my body. So I've had to practice and learn like, okay, I love chips, but they don't make me feel good. So how can I replace them with carrots and celery and cucumbers so that I can enjoy it? I love sweets. How can I make apples and nut butter taste, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Like there's just like things like that I've started to create and kind of, it's almost fun now. It's like, what new thing can I create? Like the cookie dough balls.
Yeah. Super
low in calorie. Yeah. So good for you.
But I mean, so I just have to like brace myself because folks, I'll tell you, like for years, I was telling Penelope these things and she was just like, F you! You heard exactly. She was like, oh, so like, she's like, well, I really want to have more food. I'm like, well, just eat some vegetables. Well, here, I can make you some cauliflower. I mean, like,
that was so annoying. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I want chips and Oreos, and she wouldn't buy it for me. So I was like, ugh. Then I walked down to 7-Eleven, stuff my face, throw the trash away, and go back up the hill.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just like, my jaw is like dropping like internally because like she's describing the story and I'm like, oh, so she had to hear it from Instagram.
Same thing with meditation. You told me to meditate my whole life.
We'll talk about meditation on another episode.
I know, but I'm just saying.
No, but it's just so funny. And I actually didn't know the answer to that question. So thank you for sharing it. Because it's been just as much of a surprise to me. I'm like, wait, to pinch myself. Like, is this really happening? Like, are we having meals together and she's eating the same thing I'm eating? Like, I don't have to make 2 meals. Like, this is a miracle. A total miracle.
Yeah.
So I'm just so grateful. And that I also do want to say, though, that those of you who have health principles that your children are rebelling against, just keep being the example. I mean, if I was eating, like, junk and I was telling you to eat vegetables, you'd be like...
Oh, I would tell you to F off, 100%.
You'd be like, you're so hypocritical. You're so dishonest. Like, so I don't know how that would have turned out. But I do think being the example is kind of important.
Yeah.
Because I remember at Hippocrates, she went to Hippocrates a lot when she was a little girl.
Hours talking about water.
And everything. Yeah. And enemas.
The sun and the grass and the cows.
Yeah. So this place is like a radical health institute with, that's doing great work, reversing diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Like it's an extraordinary place.
Helping people walk.
Yeah, I mean, people are, free from chronic pain. Like it's just an extraordinary place. But I think also, and that was when you were in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So I think that also helped to like shed light on, wow, it's not just mom who's talking about this. It's people on Instagram. It's people coming from all over the world to this institute. It's like, so you saw it wasn't just me. It was like a bunch of other people too. You'd go to like potlucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Did that play a role, you think?
I think it definitely showed me like this is what healthy people look and smell like. I think it definitely showed me. I mean, I think I also just resented you. I resented her almost my whole life for being perfect and beautiful.
Oh, I'm not perfect.
But in my eyes, she was perfect. It was like me and her, and she always felt like the perfect one. Like she was always working out. She was always telling me to do this, do that, do that, and it just didn't feel good. So I think I just resented that whole world for a really long time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I confronted myself and until you stopped judging me that I could really understand. Okay, I have my own choices now. I'm my own human, and I get to decide what I put in my body, not you.
Right.
And it's my choice. And so what choices do I want to make for my best self?
Yeah, I love that. That's a really great thing, like a really great takeaway. Yeah. What choices do I need to make for my best self? And I keep having this flashback as that kind of closing story to when we were in Hawaii. We went to Maui, and we were in Hana, and we go to this place off of the street, that main road, and she's like, Mom, these people are so weird. Like, you're really weird, but these people are, like, next level weird. You're like...
They were next level weird, I'm not kidding you. They're so weird. I've never met any people as weird as those people. Ever. And I've met a lot of weird people.
It was a really funny experience. It was like definitely a highlight for me. But Penelope was like, Mom, there's no cell phones allowed here.
No bathroom.
There are naked people walking around. It was like a
There was no toilet. Buckets. No windows. All screens. In the middle of, literally in a random place in Hawaii.
Cafe attitude. Be grateful or get out. It was so funny.
And I was grateful.
No, sweetie. No, it was a little edgy. Yeah.
No, but I don't want them to think like, oh, we're in Hawaii and I'm like, rah.
Yeah, no.
But I was like that. I was depressed and obese, so we'll just put it there.
Yeah, you were brave just to show up. We should show some pictures.
Show brave.
Actually. Yeah. Thanks for listening. We love to hear what you want to hear about. So please ask us what you're interested in, what you'd like to hear more about in the comments below. And we're really here to be in service. We're here to do good. We're not here to harm. So if we've offended anybody or said something that upset you, we apologize in advance. That was not our intention. Anything else you want to say before we close?
Do good, be good, and it's all good.